Gervonta "Tank" Davis is one of the best boxers in the new era, with an insane record of 29 wins and 0 loss. Gervonta Davis has defeated many exceptional boxers like Ryan Garcia, Pitbull Cruz, and Leo Santa Cruz. He is also nicknamed Tank Davis. Let's talk about Gervonta Davis' training routine and what makes him so good at boxing. We will also cover what you can learn from his fighting style. Let's take a quick overview of Gervonta Davis first. He is a southpaw and his height is around 5 feet 5 inches. He has a really good amount of strength and muscle for a boxer, and he is a versatile boxer. Let's talk about the first thing that makes Gervonta Davis so good at boxing. It was his insane punching power. Gervonta Davis is well known for his powerful punch. He won over 90% of his fights by a knockout, which shows that he is one of the hardest punchers in his weight division. To develop good punching power, Tank Davis focuses on bag work and good punching form. Repetition on the heavy bag can improve your punching power over time, and a good punching form is the most important thing for a powerful punch. To get the most powerful punch, you need to get in a proper boxing stance and rotate your hips and pivot your foot while throwing a punch. Make sure to completely extend your arms, because many people stop a punch halfway. Punching power is also genetic, so you might have a max limit on how hard you can punch, and Gervonta Davis always had a good punching power since he started boxing. That means he has good genetics for it. Let's talk about an important thing in Gervonta Davis' training routine. It is mitt work. Gervonta Davis is known for his extremely fast reflexes, which gives him a massive advantage over anyone he fights. He was able to beat Ryan Garcia quite easily, who is one of the fastest boxers in the new generation. You can see the first knockdown, which was because of his insane reflexes. Gervonta Davis was also able to give Pitbull Cruz a good fight because of quick reflexes. Reflexes are one of the most important things in boxing, especially when you are in a lighter weight division, because people punch way faster, and the best way to improve reflexes for combat sports like boxing is mitt work, because you can tell the person who is holding the mitts to adjust the speed. It also helps improve punching power slightly, because speed plays a crucial role in increasing your punching power. When you are doing mitt work, you can react to the mitts faster, which is going to make you better. I would recommend doing mitt work anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week. It is safe to do mitt work often because it does not cause any brain damage and it does not make you very tired like sparring. Another thing you can do to improve your reflex is using a reflex bag. Reflex bag is a great way to work on reflexes if you don't have someone to help you with mitt work. Another thing that makes Gervonta Davis so good at boxing is that he can adapt to any opponent he is fighting. Gervonta Davis has defeated many boxers who were taller, shorter, or faster than him because he could adapt to their fighting style. This is one of the most important traits you need to master when you want to get really good at boxing or start competing. There are only a few people in the world who have mastered this because it requires skill and experience. You could watch any fight of Tank Davis, see that he adjusts so well to any opponent. This is one of the reasons why he is undefeated in 29 fights. To master this skill, you need to start sparring with opponents who are slightly better than you, and you need to be able to spar different opponents from different gyms. This is something many fighters struggle with, especially the people who spar with the same person most of the time. Your goal should be to be able to keep up with most people around your weight division and experience level without struggling. Another thing that makes Tank Davis so good at boxing is his counterpunching. Tank Davis has knocked out a lot of his opponents because of his good counterpunching. Counterpunching and reflexes correlate with each other. You need to be fast at blocking or evading punches and landing fast counter punches. One good drill, which you can do for counter punching, is to visualize that an opponent is throwing a punch at you and you need to slip or get away from it and throw a good counter punch. You can do it in a heavy bag. It works really well, to be honest. The best way to master it is sparring. Sparring is when you can learn most things that you can only learn in fights like counter punching. Gervonta Davis often does light sparring instead of hard sparring because it is safer and has a lower risk of causing you any health problems. You can also use a reflex bag, which can help you with quicker counterpunching. Another important part of Gervonta Davis' training routine is shadow boxing. Shadow boxing is done by almost every professional boxer because it can be done anywhere, and you can perfect your form technique and also speed through it. Tank Davis uses shadow boxing as a warm-up because it is a really good way to see if your form and technique is good. And shadow boxing improves everything about boxing, like speed and footwork. Shadow boxing anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes every day is good for boxing. You can take rest days if you want to. One of the reasons why Gervonta Davis is so good at boxing is his speed and agility. Tank Davis is one of the fastest and the most powerful boxers in his weight division. Tank Davis was fast enough to knock out so many good boxers. If you watch any of his fights, it is quite rare to see anyone outspeed him. Yeah, some boxers can outspeed him, but what really makes Tank so good is the combination of his fast speed, agility, power, footwork, and reflexes. It is really hard to beat someone who has mastered all those things and can use them well according to the situation he is put in To get better speed shadow boxing with light dumbbells and mitt work is the best thing you can do. Mitt work pushes your body to move faster according to how fast your coach is holding the mitts. When you push your body to do something it has never done before, it starts to develop and it gets easier to perform the task. It is similar to lifting weights. Your body starts to build more muscle when you use heavier weights by progressively overloading. If you start shadow boxing with light dumbbells or resistance bands, you can feel an instant difference in your speed when you take them off. Another way to improve punching speed is to keep your hands slightly open while throwing a punch and close them when you are about to hit the target. These two ways are the fastest ways to improve your speed because you can feel a difference immediately. Additionally, you just have to stay consistent with other things like bag work to help you out with punching speed. You also have to focus on your reflex speed, which I already covered. Another reason why Tank Davis is so good at boxing is his exceptional uppercut. We already know that Tank Davis has a really good punching power, but his uppercuts are insane. He is really good at throwing quick uppercuts, and they work really well because of his punching power. But in my opinion, uppercut is one of the punches which you can improve through training on the uppercut bag. We call it an uppercut bag in our gym, but it's rounded shape, and you can practice your uppercut for a few minutes a day while training. Most people have really bad lead uppercuts, so if you can master that, that's going to be a good thing, and many people struggle to block uppercuts in certain situations. If you can use them well, you can knock out many people in your fights. To land the perfect uppercut, you need to pivot your foot and adjust your body slightly downwards and throw an uppercut while coming up. Do it in front of a mirror or record yourself to make sure it is perfect and there isn't any unnecessary mistake. Another thing that makes Tank Davis so good at boxing is his exceptional footwork. Tank Davis has really good footwork compared to most fighters. Because he has good footwork and agility, he can move around his opponents fast and create chances to land a clean hit on his opponent. Gervonta Davis is a short fighter, so footwork certainly gives him an advantage. Shorter fighters often need to be fast enough to close in towards their opponent without getting knocked down. To improve his footwork, he does shadow boxing, mainly focusing on footwork. You can also do ladder drills to help you out with your footwork speed. Footwork is not really that hard to master. Do it in front of a mirror for faster results. There are only a few things you need to master in order for good footwork. First one is proper boxing stance. The second thing is speed. And the last thing is learning how to close in and fall back really fast. Keep it simple and effective. Another important part of Gervonta Davis' training routine is road work and sprints. Tank Davis has a really good stamina because he does a lot of road work. Road work helps you to last for longer rounds, to fight by improving your stamina. Sprints can be a part of interval training, which also improves your stamina. Tank Davis often does them in his training to maintain his endurance. Running 1 to 3 miles a day for 3 times a week can be very effective for most beginners in the sport of boxing or mixed martial arts. Another thing that makes Gervonta Davis so good is his good defense. Tank Davis is really fast, which certainly helps him with his defense. Tank is really good at evading punches and moving his head or body out of the way. Tank also has really good durability compared to other boxers in his weight division, which gives him a huge advantage. For better defense, sparring and mitt work are the best drills you can do. Let's break down defense into 3 things. The first thing is head movement, then body movement, and blocking punches. You just have to master these 3 things and do them very quickly. I have a full guide on how to master head movement for boxing, which can help you out. But using a slip bag can be effective for your head movement. Sparring often can help with your body movement, and you can get good at blocking punches by doing partner drills. The last thing that made Tank Davis so good at boxing was his good intelligence and experience. Tank Davis started boxing when he was around 7 years old, and he is about 29 years old. That is a little over 20 years of experience. Most people start boxing around the age of 11 to 16 years old, but Tank started really early, which gives him a lot more experience than most people who fight him. Because of the experience, he is able to defeat most boxers and make quick decisions in the ring. Good intelligence is one of the most important traits in professional boxing because there are many fights in which you can outsmart your opponents and create chances to land a punch on them. It takes a few months to years to develop knowledge about the sport. The more you know about boxing, the better you're going to be. If you started late, the best thing you can do is watch boxing fights and learn from them. Watch analysis videos or learn about different drills so you can get ahead of your competition. If you train smarter and more effectively, you can surpass people who have been boxing for 3 years in 2 years.